That was a really
Wow.
fun interview.
It really was.
That was excellent. Luke Moon, you guys, Philos Project. I don't think I messed up the name once,
No,
for the record.
you done good. You done good.
I'm very proud of myself. You guys, I was having trouble remembering how to pronounce it. I'm weird. I'm weird with pronunciation sometimes. I get something stuck in my head and it's just like, there. It's very weird. You know what else is there in my brain, Jay?
I
The-
I do not. I'm not willing to take
This
that
was a
risk and
terrible
make it.
transition. No, I'm doing a terrible transition into our next segment. You guys, the next segment of the show, we're going to be we're going to be sharing with you an interview that Lord Redic and I did with Siaka Massaquoi earlier today. So our producer, Lord Benjamin, and I got to interview Siaka. He's best known, or many of you might remember him best if you watch the Babylon Bee at all. Okay. So Babylon Bee had this series of videos that it was doing, and it was Californians who moved to Texas. Did you see any of these, Jay?
I did not.
Oh my gosh, they were so hysterical. So he played, like I'm a liberal Californian, and then I moved to Texas, and oh, people have guns and don't wear masks, and it's very quirky, very hysterical. So that's where we first saw him. And then we met him a couple years ago at America Fest, and we just hit it off with him and his wife Charlotte. They've got a little baby now. But he was one of the more vocal conservative actors in Hollywood. And even though he was a working actor in movies, in commercials, all over it, like in national commercials, they cut his agent dropped him. Who else was it? His agent, somebody else dropped him because he was a Trump supporter. And we got to talk to him on the interview about a lot of different things, including what it was like to lose that stability when you're in Hollywood and an actor. But one of the things we brought him on for is he's also a defendant in the January 6th trials.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Jay, I don't know if you noticed with all this fun hashtags and posts on the internet yesterday about it being the anniversary of the most deadliest day on earth, the January 6th. Wait,
I,
dun dun
I'm not going
dun.
to comment on that. We will
The
not get
most
into that
deadliest
conversation.
day, January 6th.
Well, unfortunately, the resurrection for the January 6th defendants is coming up on January 20th.
Oh,
So
yes.
there certainly is hope, for a new world and in a new way for those that were wrong to be righted.
That's right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just to be clear, if we're not talking about the people who were in fact rioting, we're not talking about the people who were in fact violent, abusing police officers, abusing people. That's not cool. That's not okay. You're a loser if you did that. Okay. I just want to be clear. Those are my words, not Jay's or Robert's. Those are mine, but I'm correct. So, but there's a lot of people being prosecuted who didn't do anything violent. They just walked through the Capitol like many,
Mhm.
many people did because the doors were open for them. So we're going to play you guys a little bit of that interview that we did. If you want to go check out the whole interview, it's over on my channel, Generally Irritable. So if you go to Generally Irritable, you can find it, the full interview there. But here we're going to be talking with Siaka Massaquoi about the prosecution, about what happened to him and that kind of stuff. So it's clips from the video, you guys. So it opens up just talking a little bit about that he is a movie guy, an actor, and we start off with a Facebook post from our friend Eric Davis in Vermont. He's like gun owners of Vermont chair or something like that, and his ode to January 6th. That's what we start with, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to play a little bit of that for you now. So if you guys are familiar with the Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, he did a commercial for Jeremy's Razors. So this is, I forgot that this is a, because it's hysterical. Obviously, he's an actor and whatnot, and this was a commercial for a product put out by the Daily Wire. You guys, so we've been talking to Siaka. He's an actor, right? That is what he does. That is his vocation.
Oh, hey, I'm Jeremy Boring, CEO of Daily Wire and founder of Jeremy's Razors. Woke razor companies love to take your money while trampling on your values. Me, I just love your money.
What the hell is this?
Heck yeah. Okay, so this is the this is Eric Davis's post. Thank you, honey, for sending it. Never forget that time that the greatest military superpower in the history of the world was nearly toppled by a couple dozen unarmed dumbasses loitering inside a building.
That's great. Is that on X?
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
That's so great, by the way. I'm gonna tell my kids this. Like, that's DX. I'm a big wrestling fan. I was up late last night watching it on Netflix, and I'm like, wow, that's great. That's so great. That's so great. I love it.
Yeah, we love Eric Davis. He's awesome. Look at this is his profile picture. I mean, how can you not love this man? So you were one of those unarmed people that happened to be at the Capitol on that day, and we know now that there was not everyone storming the Capitol. There was not everyone fighting with cops. There were areas where the doors were just opened and people were let in, and they're taking pictures with the police and the whole thing. And that was you. You weren't breaking windows and crap like that. You were one of the thousands of other people who were just there that day.
It's so funny too, because I made it a point from the Beverly Hills rallies to the January 6th rally. Like, I was never going to be one of those who showed up with any type of bulletproof vest on, any type of fatigue helmet, or I didn't even wear fatigue pants. I was like, I'm not letting anybody, because being in the industry, we know how they can tell a story with the camera. So I'm like, every time you're going to see me, I'm going to have as much as possible, unless I'm debating somebody, like a big smile on my face, just that little hat, like T-shirt for the most part. And that day, I had I had my jacket, some jeans, and boots on, because it was just so cold out. And so when you see you see like what I was involved in, if you will, it's literally 71 seconds. I stand in the doorway. And I'm looking around, and it's in the movie January 6th, the most deadliest day by the Babylon Bee.
The most deadliest, and we've got that.
Actually, will show you in that. And
what was that, Jay? I'm
trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out on this insurrection why so many of these insurrectionists and terrorists forgot to bring their weapons to this.
This is my question. This is my question. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but normally if I want to threaten people, I would want to have a weapon. Right?
Yes. I mean, if I'm going to the beach, I want to bring a blanket. If I'm going to an event, I want to bring a ticket. If I'm going to an insurrection, I'm going to be pretty heavily armed, because this is a big deal. And if we're going to take over this country, it's not going to be a bunch of, people like me that are afraid of things. And I would have brought something with me. I mean, because if there's an insurrection, there's going to be people fighting back, and I don't want to get hurt, but I want to hurt other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
You see me, and guys, I can be silly, but like the video that's on there and the results from the raid of my house to 3 years on the no-flight list to being arrested at the tarmac at Burbank. Dude, I look like I was so goofy. Like, I'm just like, What's going on? You know, it's like
like a real
like
soldier.
a real
Got it.
like hostages in Bastille.
Like you were daring? Were you? Was it a daring moment?
I don't know if it was daring. It was like
no, it was a joke. I was trying to.
No, I know. I was trying to find it too. Hold on, girl. I was getting there. Sometimes I do dramatic acting as well. Sometimes you got to pause.
Oh, my bad. Oh, was it a daring moment?
Yes.
Sorry,
they
Siaka.
dared me to keep meandering in. No, there was like, it was like, you know how when you go into a concert or to a festival and you go through security checkpoints and everyone's just kind of like walking in like this. That's how it was. And so, I'm walking in and they're like, oh, is this, they're letting people in here? This is literally on the video. You hear me asking this. They're like, oh yeah, over here.
Wow.
And so we walk into the doorway and then the cops that were standing there people just kind of stopped. Like the cops weren't like holding people back, but at the same time, like you could tell someone was told to stop. So a group of people were just kind of standing there. Like they didn't go further in. And in my video, you'll see there's a bunch of cops just standing against the wall. Everyone's chilling. And I turned to one guy because I had heard rumors people were just talking outside. They're like, yeah, they got to Nancy Pelosi's desk. And so I remember turned to the cop over to the left. I was like, hey man, did they get it? I heard they got on Nancy Pelosi's desk. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I turned over this way and in what felt like, I mean, it was 71 seconds, so it must have happened that fast. But a guy in full riot gear is like, I need you guys. He comes up. I need you guys to go back this way now. I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, we're going to do it. I was like, and I'm like, look, we're being reasonable. This is the most reasonable riot or whatever I said that you'll ever see or something, right? And then I turn back to the people behind me and I tell them, hey guys, we got to go back the other way. So I was relaying the message. The only time anyone of any official capacity said anything to me about not being there, not only did I comply, but I also redirected the comments to the people behind me who were in my way. And so,
so you were also like helping.
I mean, I was complying at the very least, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I'm not thinking anything of it. I go back around, I walk around. There was even a group of riot police standing there, and I went up to them and I was like, just like imploring them. I'm like, look, people are mad at you guys. They're not like, we support the cops. It's like the frustration of feeling like being shut down. Your business is closed, and then you feel like the election has been stolen from the people. Like they're just angry that way. They're not upset at you. They don't want to harm you in that way. And those guys just stood there. I mean, I'm right there in their face, and I'm like, you guys are even hiding. I was like, I'm not hiding. I even said my name. I was like, my name's Siaka Massaquoi. I'm a patriot. I'm an American. Like, I'm not trying to hide. Like I said this, and then they're just standing there staring at me. I was like, all right, well, see you later. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I just like, I like walked away.
Sounds terrifying.
He is terrifying. Look how intimidating he is. I mean, you know, and here he was actually conversing with the authorities and having a conversation with them. He was indicted. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, he's going back to DC to court. So he actually got arrested getting off of the plane on his way home from the Daily Wire premiere of Lady Ballers. So he and his pregnant wife, Charlotte, went to Tennessee for the premiere, and they arrested him on the way home.
And they were afraid that they had to arrest him and put him in jail and handcuffs and all those things so that he doesn't commit another insurrection while he's in Tennessee.
Yes.
Was he, going to overthrow Tennessee while he was there, or
very dangerous?
Build a militia? I mean, is he Andrew Jackson coming from Tennessee to build a militia to go back to DC to take over things?
Nice callback. Nice callback, Jay. I like it.
in Beverly Hills, where what they would do was there was a 3-week span that ended up with like a big rally, and this guy named Chad Loader, who has been banned off of X because he's actually like the head of there's a dog. He's the head of the Antifa in Southern California. And so when Elon took over, he banned him right away. But this guy organized a big rally march to come down. We had been doing Beverly Hills rallies at this point for the last couple of months. It's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he came and he was like, he had his whole big group come in. They were all dressed up in, it looked like, you guys remember Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
It looked like
Of course.
like them coming in, dude. Like, I swear to you, because on our side, it was like people wearing T-shirts and MAGA hats and all this, that, and the other American flags. Most people are sitting there wearing like the bulletproof vests and the helmets and the bike helmet and all that stuff. And so they had they were coming in, but the cops had partitions already set up, so they had it split up. But from the few weeks earlier of Antifa, there were a group of them that came and they were dressed in a pro-Trump gear. And one of them I recognized because he tried to kind of set some other kid up against a black dude by saying he called him something. And I was like, no, I saw it. It was you he was talking to. Stop being a coward. And so every time I saw him, I was like, hey, coward, what's going on, coward? And then all of a sudden I saw him that day. And he's wearing MAGA gear on our side. And I'm like, hey, coward, wow, you're dressed funny. Why are you dressed like that? And he's standing. And so when the Antifa guys showed up, they're standing on one side. And of course, they started yelling at us. And there's a few of us that would yell back. But some of the people that started yelling back were those Antifa people that I saw weeks earlier. Now they're on our side, screaming out to Antifa to get our side riled up. And I was able to, fortunate enough, a friend of mine gave me her microphone and I started yelling that we're not here to fight. We're here to march and show our love. We have women, we have old people, we have kids here. Let's go. And so we rallied everyone, ended up leaving, and then they got kicked out because they got into fights with police or with journalists. But at J6, I saw two different moments where men, and Ben, you know this, men, just like Jesus, they say, follow me. And these guys would grab people and be like, let's go, and push them.
This is Jay, it was when we were listening to him talk today, it was so crazy because where's my tinfoil hat? I have felt this whole time that so much of that was just a psyop, that it was a setup by the federal government. And even if, here's the deal, even if, what was that guy's name? Ben, the guy who was like, we gotta storm the Capitol. They had Ray Epps or whatever, right? They had the video of him. I'll probably get banned for that too. Allegedly, he's a Fed. There were all those videos of he was like, we gotta go to the Capitol, and people would start shouting, Fed, Fed, Fed. And so I just, why wouldn't we believe that there would be antagonists in the crowd? Not even feds. Let's just take all that crap out of it. Yeah. Why wouldn't we believe that there would be antagonists in the crowd to try to make Trump supporters look bad?
Well, I know. We just heard that it was happening at other rallies along the way, that they Antifa infiltrates and all of that. And we know it happened on January 6th. We know a lot of people that we made mistakes that day.
Yes.
But there were people inspiring trouble, and they weren't people on our side.
That's right.
The other thing that struck me very well here is that, again, the insurrection, I'm guessing because they were ready to, take over the country, that the MAGA hats are also bulletproof. So they didn't have to wear helmets, because if you have a red MAGA hat, that's like a helmet, because that's bulletproof.
Yeah.
And if you have a T-shirt on, that's a bulletproof vest. If it says Trump on it, it's bulletproof. So all these people are coming after us, but there's no reason to be afraid.
Yep.
Because we have helmets and bulletproof vests on all the time. And I think your guest was right on.
Yeah.
When he was talking about these outside influencers trying to cause trouble, and they were very successful at it. And they caused a lot of people a lot of pain and agony.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, we'll leave a link to the full interview in the chat, in the comments below on whatever social media platform you're watching, or maybe we'll put it in the description after. But we have successfully come around the hour, Jay the Shepard.
Wow.
So I say we call it a close for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been watching for this long, we thank you. And you can thank us for providing you this stellar content by leaving a like and a comment, sharing this this channel with some people who you think might appreciate it. Any closing words today, Mr. Shepard?
Yes, and the more likes, the more shares and subscribes you do, will guarantee that Robert will come back, and you'll actually get comment and some insightful comments that'll happen, and you won't have to look at me. So like, share, subscribe. It really doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And what Ericka and Robert do here each week is just phenomenal. They're giving you information and interviews that you're not seeing anywhere else. And I just want to thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. And we will see y'all next week.